Hello and welcome back to another update as we cover the latest developments throughout the front line. We start out in the Zaporizhzhia front where we have this video here of Ukrainian forces evacuating parts of the front line, trying to evacuate wounded soldiers by the front line and getting hit by artillery. So the fighting here continues in the direction of Robotyne and Novoprokopivka between the two and in the direction of Verbove. Here in this section of the front line there's been no territorial changes since the 8th of November, so it seems that the Ukrainian forces have been unable to advance in this direction, and there's been no active counterattacks by the Russian forces trying to close the salient here in the Zaporizhzhia front. This is likely due to their allocation of forces in the Avdiivka direction, where I yesterday reported on the Russian capture of the water treatment plant here in the east of Avdiivka. The Ukrainians managed to counterattack and push them out, but they haven't reoccupied the area, so it remains in the gray zone. However, it seems that the Russian forces were pushed back from the area. So we're seeing that fighting continues in the Avdiivka direction as well. However, due to the poor weather, it is very difficult for them to actually manage to make any advances in this section of the front line. We then move on to the Bakhmut direction, where again there's been no developments on the front line. The fighting continues, but due to poor weather, it is hardly able to fight for either side. The reason for this is when we move on to the Belorivka direction, we see this video here which shows a thermobaric strike on Ukrainian positions in the area. I'm not really sure where these Ukrainian positions are, but according to the original post there is some. It is difficult to see from this footage, but what we do see is that the Russian forces are striking thermobaric missiles on this position, and everywhere it's completely white. There's snow that has fallen, but it's not quite the temperature where the snow will stay frozen. It'll instead melt and it will become more muddy on the ground. So this is the worst type of weather when it comes to muddy season. This is the one that creates the most mud, and with this we see that it will be very difficult for anyone to move through, whether it be soldiers or armored vehicles moving through this terrain. So what we're seeing throughout the front line is a somewhat kind of temporary stop of the offensive operations, but there's a lot of artillery and airstrikes on the different positions across the front line, as we just saw in the video. And that is going to be all for this short update. Thank you for watching and have a great day.